So we've got the England team out for the Chile game and the Ireland team out for the South Africa game. Sorry they're not coming together because these teams are coming out at very odd times. England coming out quite late this evening. I didn't think it was going to come out today, but it has. Let's have a look at it, and a lot of this is unsurprising because England needed to rest players. They needed to get players that hadn't played yet to get some minutes, and it's going to be very close to what everyone had thought, but there are a few twists in here. So let's get into this team. Rod was always going to have to start, otherwise what's the point in bringing him to the World Cup? And he's a quick, talented player. He's not massive, but he's very, very good round the park. And to be fair, I think this game could easily be an entertaining game. I know it involves England, but this team has got a point to prove, and there's lots of exciting players in here. Dan getting a start, it excites me. He hasn't played much for England, but he's got potential, he's explosive, he's young, he's enthusiastic. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to seeing him play. Kyle Sinclair. Now I wondered what was going to happen at tight head. England need to make something happen at tight head, and maybe their best chance is Kyle Sinclair playing himself into form. Cole, he's a veteran and he's okay. Stewart's been disappointing, so Sinclair hitting form is England's maybe best bet, so fingers crossed here. Ribbons and Martins was always going to be the second row pairing because they're the only guys who haven't started. Ludlam, I suggest, was going to play 6, and he does. Willis was probably going to play 7, and he does. Those guys both need time to show what they can do in their preferred positions. And Billy V, yet again, had to start today, otherwise what's the point in having him? Am I expectant for Billy V? No, but maybe he can surprise us, but I don't know. Kerr starting 9 was the one I wanted, and what were they going to do with Farrell? That was the big question. I wondered if he was going to go 12 in this game, but actually what they've done is they said, okay, let's have a look at Marcus Smith at 15. Now, this isn't a position that he plays regularly or has played regularly, so it's exciting, it's an experiment, and why not? Chile are a good team, they're going to be exciting, but England should win, and they should experiment with some different permutations here, and Smith playing 15 gives you a different dynamic completely to Stewart. He's obviously a lot smaller, but he's very creative. He's a lot quicker on the counter-attack. And yes, you can bring him in as a second playmaker, which in the setup that England did have with Ford, Tuolangi at 12 and Stewart at 15, he doesn't really have that. Ford's a good player, but having that extra pair of hands is very useful. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully it's decent conditions so we can see how it goes. Lawrence in at 12. Maybe Lawrence is a better 13, but England don't have a lot of options there. And who was going to double up, play every game? It looks like Elliot Daly is that man, so surely he's going to have to rest the next game. But anyway, he's coming along as another 13 anyway, so let's see him there. I like that look of the backline actually. Lawrence Daly, it could be quite exciting. Let's see how they defend. And then the back three, a very different looking back three. Probably England's most creative back three we've seen so far. In fact, definitely. Malins, he's a good player. He's very silky. Not the quickest, not the biggest, but he is creative. Arundel, the gas. We haven't seen what he can do for England yet. He's been all potential and, we haven't seen the product yet in the start, that's for sure. So here we go. Henry Arundel. Don't care what happens here. Just go for it. Get your hands on the ball. Express yourself. And Marcus Smith, again, nothing to lose. Get in there. The 15 who was going to be backing up Freddie Stewart, I think was probably Anthony Watson actually, but of course he was out of the tournament. Then the backs, as we see there, Ford and Marchant, they've played a lot, played every game, so they may not even come on or very sparingly. That'll be interesting, but the rest I think will definitely get a run. Walker needs some more time at hooker. Chesham just a few more minutes and his legs coming back from injury could be quite good. Earl they might leave alone for as long as possible, but Youngs will get some game time as well. So that's the England team against Chile. Look, I'm hopeful. I'm getting behind England in this World Cup, as you know. Am I a bit deluded? Maybe, but I'm fairly excited for this team. Let's see what they can do. Hopefully some exciting, attractive rugby. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Anyway, guys, the guy I haven't mentioned, of course, at 10, is Owen Farrell. He slots in at 10, his preferred position. He'll be the captain. Does that stifle the creativity? I hope not. Is it all going to be kick and chase? I seriously hope not. Again, if Malins and Arundel were just chasing kicks, it's a waste of time. You've got to get the ball in Arundel and Smith and Daly's hands to make the most of them. Anyway, let's see what happens. I'm going to stay positive and optimistic. All the comments below on that team. So let's have a look at this Irish team, and we know most of it because the Irish team is very settled, but a couple of interesting selections. Sheehan is back from injury and unsurprisingly doesn't start straight away, but I did wonder if they'd go Herring at hooker. Very reliable, never lets Ireland down, but they've gone for the more explosive, the younger guy in Kelleher, so quite a big call, but Kelleher was Ireland's number one before he had a big injury, so fair enough. So it's a very exciting front row, very mobile as well, good hands. How's it going to stand up to the fury of the South Africans? But it's definitely bold and exciting. Byrne and Ryan always going to start in the second row, a great combination between skill and size. Ryan's just got better and better. And the back row, I think they were always going to play Omani, especially against South Africa. Tough as teak. You're not really going to experiment too much. Then World Player of the Year Van der Fleer on the open side, and their best 8 Doris, and Conan's injured anyway. Murray has been playing very well at scrum half, and he could have had a sniff, but Gibson Park's been so good for Ireland for so long, it was unlikely he was going to overtake him. Captain Sexton, of course, there. Aki and Ringrose, the number one pairing, ousting Henshaw. And that's going some because Henshaw looks fit and in great form. What a great sub to have Henshaw is. Can come into 12 or 13 or even the back 3. It's just a brilliant trio of centres for Ireland. Lowe, Hansen and Keenan are always the back 3. They've got everything. Yeah, Hansen, a lot of people saying one of the most underrated wingers in the world. He's quality. Lowe's kicking's looking on, which is really key for Ireland. And Keenan, obviously, we know is pretty perfect. Kilcoyne, Beelum coming off the bench. They're going to obviously have to go up against the bomb squad of South Africa. So a great front row battle, but it's a fairly settled set of props for Ireland. So they've got a great chance. Henderson, the experienced second row, obviously combating that 7-1 split for South Africa. So Ireland are going to have to use these forward subs very well because South Africa obviously have 2 more. And then Baird as well. So they've gone a bit supersize on their subs. They haven't changed it to a 6-2 or anything like that, but it does look like they've reacted to touch maybe and gone a little bit bigger than they could have on the bench. Then Murray, obviously a very solid customer, playing really well actually. Replacement 9, Crowley ousting Byrne for that replacement 10 slot, and then Henshaw, like I said, brilliant, versatile, quality replacement in the outside backs. So who's going to win, Ireland, South Africa? I have no idea, to be honest. If Ireland get on a roll and get into their systems nice and early with plenty of good ball, they've got a great chance. And when Ireland play well, they tend to start well. South Africa, I always feel, a side who can come back into a game at any point, with that bit more power. Ireland maybe a bit more of a rhythm team. That's my kind of take on it anyway. But yeah, anyone's game. And England-Chile, I'm excited for it. I think it could be entertaining. I hope there's not too much crazy kicking. There will be early on, but I hope a game of rugby breaks out. All those comments on the teams below, how you think the games are going to go. Love to know your thoughts as always, and I'll catch you next time.